Hi people, how you all doing? Welcome and welcome back to the channel. It is Sandra here, back again with another video from Douglas Murray, and this is gonna be my first time getting into this. Looking forward to what this video has to offer, basically. So without further ado people, let's just hop right into the video.
Differently on Muhammad. It was to treat Islam exactly the same way that secular free people have the right to talk about every religion. And this gentleman and others are trying through the front door, some people through the front door with Kalashnikovs and others through the back door with this kind of weasel talk. What they do is try to make one religion free from being able to be criticised, and it must be stopped.
Well, people that are so insensitive.
You are about to see Douglas Murray completely silence a Muslim scholar on free speech. The debate you are about to see took place a few years ago following the incident of a journalist in France who got killed by Muslim extremists because of producing a cartoon character of the Prophet Muhammad. Many Muslims found that act offensive even though they live in France, a liberal country where everyone is supposed to have the freedom to criticize or even make fun of any religion. This begs the question of whether some Muslims can even be integrated in liberal countries, like France, seeing that they adhere to a fundamentalist interpretation of Islam. This is an issue that Douglas Murray has been addressing and warning about for years. Douglas Murray did not hold back.
Well, first of all, we have to remember what's going on here. This is an attempt, a very clear, very bloody attempt, to impose Islamic blasphemy law in France and across Europe. And it has to be stopped. That's why these men did it. That's why the journalists of Charlie Hebdo are dead. An attempt to impose Islamic blasphemy law in Paris. The problem is that unless you have an I am Spartacus, as you say, tactic on it, it's not worth any one individual or any one, well, let's put it this way, no one publication doing it, because, you know, after the Danish cartoons affair, Charlie Hebdo was the only paper in the world, really, that continued to say it is our right as secular French citizens to draw, lampoon, laugh at, write about whatever we want. We're free people in a free society. They were the only ones who held on to that, and obviously on Wednesday morning we know what happened as a result. So any one publication would, I think, undoubtedly put its staff at considerable risk. That's why I've suggested this week, repeated what Ayaan Hirsi Ali said after the Danish cartoons affair. We have to spread the risk around. The free press in the free world has to spread the risk around. Our freedoms hang on this. It cannot be left to a single individual or a single publication, a single satirical magazine, to hold the line for all of our freedoms.
Douglas Murray's stance shines a light on a complex challenge facing the Western world today. At the heart of this debate is the profound difference in foundational values between Western societies, which hold free speech as a paramount right, and Islamic societies where blasphemy laws often impose strict limits on what can be said, especially about religion. Western democracies pride themselves on the freedom of expression, believing it to be the cornerstone of a free and healthy society. This belief isn't just cultural, it's embedded in legal frameworks. For instance, the First Amendment in the United States Constitution guarantees individuals the right to express themselves without government interference or regulation. On the other hand, in many Islamic countries, blasphemy laws are enforced with stringent penalties, including imprisonment, fines, and in some cases, death. These laws are not only a tool for maintaining religious respect, but also a mechanism of control, stifling dissent and debate within society. A Pew Research Center findings suggest that a significant portion of Muslims living in Western countries still hold conservative views about blasphemy and freedom of speech. For example, a survey found that in some Western countries, a notable number of Muslims believe that there should be a criminal penalty for criticism of Islam. This viewpoint challenges the very foundation of Western free speech norms and creates a societal dichotomy that is difficult to reconcile.
Raza Nadim, I come to you because you are scowling.
Yeah, because I disagree with everything he said so far. Because
everything?
Yeah, most of what he said. Because I stopped listening after a while because it just didn't make sense. When he talks about we should, the news Charlie Hebdo published whatever they wanted, that's rubbish. They were overtly racist towards Muslims. They were always lampooning Arabs and being overtly racist in most of their publications, and it smacks of hypocrisy because they were prepared, in the name of freedom of speech, to sack a journalist who wrote a column that they considered to be anti-Semitic. So how come there's a line there, but when it comes to Muslims, doesn't matter, take it on the chin. Why are we treated differently from others?
Could I just answer that?
He was charged with a hate crime as well.
Sorry, it's really rich. There are 12 people dead.
Oh, please, no, don't try to use their deaths.
No.
Just don't.
Please,
don't try, because I just give you an example where they did. No, let me finish my point.
Right.
The clear example where they don't care for freedom of speech.
Okay, on that example, Douglas will address that example. If he doesn't, we'll make him. And then I'll come back to you and ask you another question.
A dozen people were killed, and they're now being smeared as racists, like this gentleman here. And I think that's intolerable.
No, I did not.
He clearly knows nothing about Charlie Hebdo.
I just gave you an example.
Nothing about France, nothing about French traditions of free speech. Charlie Hebdo is a left-wing, anti-racist publication. It has lampooned and does lampoon everybody. In recent years, it has taken particular delight in lampooning. Most of the attacks on Charlie Hebdo, the non-physical attacks, have been from the Catholic Church, repeated attempts to criminalise Charlie Hebdo for what it says about the Pope. Marine Le Pen, the far-right wing leader, is one of the main targets of their satire. You don't understand anything.
I just gave you an example.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, and then thereafter we're going to spread the love, okay? As it were. Raza, I mean, Douglas touches on this. France has a long, some would say fantastic, certainly very proud tradition of vulgar and rude and anti-religious cartoons. Isn't it a cultural imposition for a minority to seek to change that?
Muslims
Answer that question.
In France, in 2006, a rapper was prosecuted for saying, "I want to urinate on Napoleon." So where's this, in believing in a person, we can offend whoever we want? It's rubbish. Muslims are being asked to believe in freedom of speech more than others are, because in France they're prepared to prosecute an individual on that basis. They've banned comedians that they consider to be anti-Semitic. Now I'm saying it's right, if someone's being anti-Semitic, stop them. But when we're saying someone is being Islamophobic and anti-Muslim, we're saying, well, take on the chin. Why are we treated differently?
If it's unacceptable, as many people feel it is, many people find it deeply offensive to see cartoons of the Muslim Prophet Muhammad, is there any way in which it is acceptable to poke fun at Islam?
If you want to poke fun, no one really cares. But the thing is, this isn't about poking fun.
We're not talking about cartoons. Is there any way?
Well, no, hang on. No, this wasn't about poking fun. This case is being painted as a freedom of speech issue, and it's clearly linked to the war on terror. If you look at the cartoon, the killers, what they say, we're part of Al Qaeda. It wasn't a cartoon that riled them up. It was foreign policy and a war on terror. Why do you?
The Muslim scholar's comparison between anti-Semitic acts and criticism or satire of Islam conflates two fundamentally different concepts, race and religion. Race is an immutable characteristic. Individuals cannot choose or change their ethnic background. Anti-Semitic acts target individuals based on their ethnic origin, which they have no control over. This targeting is inherently discriminatory and serves no purpose other than to demean and marginalize. Religion, however, is a set of beliefs and practices. Unlike race, religion involves personal choice. People can adopt, change, or renounce religious beliefs. Criticizing or making satirical comments about a religion or any belief system is a critique of ideas, not an attack on an immutable characteristic of a person. As such, it falls under the purview of free expression. Murray and many others in the sphere of public debate argue that the ability to question, criticize, and even mock ideas is central to a healthy, open society.
Just quickly, there are some people speaking about who have clearly sort of mugged up on Charlie Hebdo in the last couple of days and drawn from this tragedy whatever they like. But you really should know more if you're going to speak about this.
And I have shown more than you about this
You are
topic.
going to need to know more before you smear dead
I'm not sparing. I'm not
But let me
sparing
just one thing you may not be aware
ridiculous.
of. One thing you may not be aware of, but it's worth throwing into the discussion, is that there are laws on the continent, particularly to do with anti-Semitism and particularly to do with the Holocaust. And let me just explain, because you may again not know this, but the historical reasons for that. France has historical reasons to be incredibly sensitive of anti-Semitism in particular, because within people's living memory, tens of thousands of Jews were put on trains and slaughtered.
So we shouldn't be sensitive of Islamophobia?
No, let me explain.
Well, we shouldn't be sensitive of it. There's a secret website called Google. Let me finish the point I'm making. There are very specific reasons. There are very specific reasons. There are very specific reasons in France and Germany why some of those laws exist. But let me get back to the main point which you've been trying to divert us from.
That's this. What is going on with this is an attempt not to make Islam be treated differently, and not making Charlie Hebdo. It wasn't to treat Islam differently or Muhammad. It was to treat Islam exactly the same way that secular free people have the right to talk about every religion. And this gentleman and others are trying through the front door, some people through the front door with Kalashnikovs and others through the back door with this kind of weasel talk. What they do is try to make one religion free from being able to be criticized, and it must be stopped.
Well, people that are so sensitive...
Douglas Murray has nailed the hammer on the head on this one once again. Satire serves as a potent tool for societal reflection, allowing individuals to challenge power structures, dogmas, and societal norms. History is replete with examples where satire and criticism have contributed to social and political reform. Critiquing religious beliefs, including those of Islam, through satire or direct criticism is not inherently hate speech or an incitement to violence. Instead, it's a manifestation of the freedom to express dissenting viewpoints and to engage in open debate about the merits of different belief systems. It's crucial to distinguish between making fun of a religion or its figures and inciting hatred or violence against its followers. Hate speech, as legally defined in many jurisdictions, involves inciting violence or discrimination against people based on race, religion, ethnic origin, sexual orientation, or other protected statuses. Criticism or satire of religious ideas, as long as it does not cross into the realm of advocating for harm against individuals, does not constitute hate speech.
So we did get into this. Boy, oh boy, that was heated. That was so heated. I'm just like, okay, I'm glad we got out of it. I'm not going to touch on each individual's point or each individual's perspective, because to be honest, people, that is all it was, a perspective. And I don't know why freedom of speech should even be such a heated topic. I don't know why both men, especially the man who was opposing, I don't know why he was so raged. If we are actually talking about freedom of speech, why should somebody's perspective and opinion on a certain issue get you all riled up like that? Like, why? If this is a topic that you were for. You know, he's saying, oh, it's just a cartoon. You can go make fun of, like, whatever. Can you really? Based on past history, based on past events, can you really? I don't know why people feel, especially in religion, people feel that there's some sort of like superiority to it. I know that as humans, we certainly feel this sense of pride. We feel that certain people are less than we are. We feel that we're above certain people. We feel that people who look certain type of way are less than we are and stuff like that, which is bad on its own. But when it transcends into religion, it gets really, really dangerous, because religion is something that people hold dear to their heart. Religion is something that keeps people's emotions, people's actions in check, and people stand for this. They really do believe in this, even if it's just based on faith, because we actually cannot see, who we actually believe in. So it's honestly all based on faith, and people tend to get very defensive when, people who are of a different religion speak about it. And that's where freedom of speech comes in, and that's where this whole debate comes in. I just need we as humans to be accepting. I feel like if we're accepting, there's a whole lot of like issues that Douglas Murray gets into that we wouldn't even be getting into. And by acceptance, I mean from both parties. Like, everyone just be smart, just be intelligent, and know what to say, how to say it, when to say it, accepting, respecting, like just the whole package. Honestly, it was very heated. And to a large extent, I can understand why and how it got that heated. But most importantly, I feel like the highlight of this video is knowing what you all had to say about this altercation. Okay, that wasn't an altercation. About that interaction between Douglas and the man in the video. Please do tell me what you all think. I would love to really explore your perspective. I would love to know what you all think about this. So please respectfully just share your thoughts and opinion down in the comment box. But this is the end of today's video. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope next one would all get to convey here and get into another video from Douglas Murray or from any other person who has something enlightening to share with us. But upon to the very next one, let's keep on staying safe and healthy. So bye.